If you've been trying to simplify the way you nourish your body as a mom, this video is for you. Not by adding more rules or complicated recipes, but by creating small rhythms that support your energy throughout the week. Because in this season of life, we don't have hours to spend in the kitchen. And I've realized we don't actually need them. We just need a few simple foods prepared ahead of time so that we're not making decisions when we're already tired. When I skip meals or grab something quick that doesn't really nourish me, I notice it in everything. My energy drops, I feel more overwhelmed, my patience is shorter, and even small things start to feel harder than they actually are. But when I take a little time to prepare simple, balanced foods, the rest of the week feels steadier. As a nutritional therapy practitioner, I think a lot about things like blood sugar balance. When we go long stretches without eating or rely mostly on quick carbs, our blood sugar rises and falls very quickly. And those crashes show up as fatigue, irritability, cravings, or that feeling of being completely drained by the afternoon. Instead of reaching for a nourishing snack, you're reaching for a second cup of coffee. So, instead of aiming for perfection, I focus on simple things: cooking a protein, washing and chopping produce, and having foods ready that I can put together quickly, not just for me, but also for my toddler. I promise it's not anything fancy. Meal prep for me isn't about controlling every meal, and it's not about never having to cook throughout the week. It's about removing decision fatigue. When nourishing food is already prepared, it's way easier to choose something that actually supports my body. And I've noticed that when I feel more nourished, I also feel calmer. My mind is clearer, I'm more present with my family, and I don't feel like I'm constantly running on empty. Most of the time, we think health has to be so complicated, but it's really just showing up in small, consistent rhythms that make the biggest difference. Even just preparing one or two things ahead of time can shift the entire tone of your week. I've also started seeing this as a form of stewardship. I got so tired of it being 5 o'clock and realizing I hadn't set meat out and I had no idea what I could throw together in the next 30 minutes to have food on the table, which made me feel resentful that I had to do something that I actually really love doing and feel called to do. I think it's such a beautiful thing that as mothers, we get to prepare meals for our family that nourish them, that strengthen them, and then we get to sit around a table with the people that we love while they enjoy something that we prepared, knowing that Jesus set this example before us. So when I feel burnout or overwhelmed doing what I'm called to do, I know it's usually actually be traced back to me just not sticking to the basics. During this pregnancy season, I would love to take a nap while my son takes a nap. Taking an hour one day a week to care for my body later is so important. Not perfectly, not rigidly, just intentionally. When I'm supported, I can show up better in the roles that I care about most, like being a mom and a wife. And that's really what simplifying health looks like in this season. Small, repeatable rhythms. Another thing I've been learning is that nourishment doesn't have to be elaborate to be meaningful. Sometimes it's just having something ready just so I don't skip eating altogether. I think a lot of us moms live in the cycle of putting everyone else first and then realizing at the end of the day that we barely ate anything ourselves. And over time, that kind of depletion adds up. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. When I'm undernourished, I'm more reactive, I feel scattered, and the day feels way heavier than it needs to. But when I've taken even a little time to prepare food ahead of time, it creates a sense of calm, and it's one less thing I have to think about. Those small decisions, eating regularly, choosing balanced meals, staying nourished, start to support my energy in a really steady way. I've also noticed that meal prep doesn't just support me, it supports the atmosphere of our home. When I'm not scrambling, everything feels a little slower, a little more peaceful, and those are the rhythms I'm really trying to build in this season. If you're wanting more support with this, I've started sharing simple, realistic meal plans on my Substack. They're designed specifically for busy moms who want nourishing meals without overcomplicating things. I know that I, for one, have seen enough videos to really intimidate me from trying a meal plan, and that's not what I'm trying to accomplish here. You can find that linked below, follow along, and whether you meal prep a lot or just start with one small step, remember that consistency matters way more than perfection. Even simple preparation can bring more calm, clarity, and support into your week.